certainly did do well in this, because here comes 447 Stuart Smythe from Uxbridge. It would help this evening if I had my dentures in place. Here comes Stuart Smythe, then he takes his position on the grid. Another one who certainly could be in with a shout with this one, former British champion in the Stockwoods, another one who switched the Nova very early on. That's 213, Graham Morton from Farnham. And in a car that I really have taken a shine to this evening, car number 806, Gary Chapman, who's come all the way from the Midlands. Next up, from Fittleworth, that's in West Sussex, that's 155, Lee Pepper. Dan Pappy, he's up next, another Starlet runner from Waterlooville. And then one of our best Ringwood hopes, 613, Tim Barnes. Next one up is certainly not to be discounted under any means. That's car number 669, Ed Trofer. Or is he? Indeed. Nine to 8, Dave Leach, he comes next. He had a win here on a visit back in August. A very quick start at that one. And then the man who many people reckon could well win this one tonight, and we've already seen him in blistering form in his special rod. Here he is, in the form of which we know him best, in his stock rod, 160 from Havant, former points and Western champion here at Ringwood a few years back. That's Mark Paffey. 603, Paul Andrews, he takes the next place. Then comes 230, Paul Brogan, and car number 23, Pete Fellows. Looks as if Stephen Weeks has had a bad draw here. 790, Paul Dennis from Wisbech, he's next up. And then 382, Luke Brayley. 565, Brian Smith. And car number 337, Tony Evans. Here he comes then. Can he do it? He's got Mark Paffey a few rows ahead of him, and that's going to be tough, but we wish him all the best. 614, Steve Weeks. 578, we wish him all the best as well, because he's had a tough fortnight. That's Martin Hillier. Then comes 93, Ian Jaycock. And well, two favourites got the best, got the worst of the draw. 524, Mel Cook, and 622, Paul Newman bring up the rear in this one. Who was it? The pace car gets ready to move off. Tension mounts. They go up a gear. And it goes to green. The 1996 Stock Rod English Championship is underway. They all power into that first turn, and who's going to come out first? It's 570 Kim Carter, who takes the early lead. And we've got problems down there. We've got Bert Languish and Mark Barber getting tangled up. But it's Kim Carter leading the way. 576 Norman Hicks, 447 Stuart Smythe, and 586 Stephen Gooch. Mount Songhurst, Gary Chapman and Graham Norton complete the order. As we complete the first lap, we've had trouble at the back. Paul Andrews and Bert Language, who had trouble early on, he's done his steering in, so he's out. The track is in a slippery state. They've been warned about that from the start marshal. And Stephen Weeks is out. The top man here at Ringwood and one of the hot favourites has lasted 2 laps. Now there's a turn up, he is out of the English Championship. So it's kind of a 570. Kim Carter is making an early break for it here with 576. Norman Hicks in second place, and Steve Gooch looks on the outside of Stuart Smythe, but Stuart Smythe holds on and now looks on the inside of 576 Norman Hicks. Making good inroads and still definitely one of the favourites for this. It's 160 Mark Paffy. He desperately wants to win this one. Dave Leach shoots onto the infield and nobody's doing it there. Whether he's going to retire or not, but he rejoins. Didn't gain anything from it there though. But it's kind of a 570, a very experienced driver around here at Ringwood. That's Kim Carter who leads the way. Mel Songhurst now finds a way into second. He knows his way around Ringwood well too. And 447 Stuart Smythe is third. Gary Chapman moves through to fourth. Norman Hicks is dropping back. Then comes Mark Barber, Graham Norton, Steve Gooch and Mark Paffy. Then comes Dave Leach. Meanwhile, Tim Barnes has got a problem. The bodywork looks like it's failing a tyre, and he's not going to last long. In fact, he pulls to the side now. So 2 of the hot Ringwood favourites are out of this one. Still flying the flag for us though. It's kind of a 570 Kim Carter. He's doing quite well here. And then 88 Mel Songhurst is in second. Mark Paffy though, we might find Graham Norton a tough obstacle, and they both might find Mark Barber a tough obstacle, so it's certainly not over yet. They've still got a long way to go. It's a long race, and this is by no means a small track round here at Matcham. So 88 Mount Songhurst now take closer order on Kim Carter. So it's one high-speed train as they enter the first turn and go round the one-bar turn. It's kind of a 570 still leading the way. 88, 147, 806, 755, 213, 160, 928 and 506. Really pretty much as you see it. And now 88 Mel Songhurst, he looks on the outside of 570. It's a long way round, it's a brave thing to do, and now he's got Stuart Smythe looking on his inside. Mel Songhurst was lucky there though, he manages to get back in. In the meantime, Mark Barber decides to look on the outside of Gary Chapman, and he gains from that. Mark Paffy's doing likewise, and they've both got past 213 Graham Norton. So now the outside train, here it comes, it's 755 Mark Barber and 160. It's 570, Kim Carter leading the way though from Mel Songhurst, Stuart Smythe, Mark Barber, Gary Chapman, Mark Paffy, Graham Norton and Dave Leach. One high-speed pack as they go round the top bend, down the hill and towards the pit bend. 88 Mel Songhurst, right on Kim Carter's tail. Could it be possible that Kim Carter could pull off the shot of the century here? But look at the speed that the two Novas of 755 and 160 are charging round the outside there. Mark Barber's certainly going to be no pushover for Mark Paffy. Mark Barber now takes the outside of Mark Songhurst. Kim Carter still holds on though. Yet again, we have got another classic championship race here at Ringwood, just like we did last year in the European. And Mark Barber gets 40 inches in front there. Surely he's going to be in the lead as they come across the line. They come across the line neck and neck, but Mark Barber takes the lead in the English Championship. Mark Paffy, does he go through to second? Not just yet. He does now, so it's Mark Barber, Mark Paffy. Kim Carter desperately trying to hold on, but it's been a very credible effort for the Starlet man. So here we go, 755, Mark Barber, 160, Mark Paffy, and 88, Mel Songhurst. Novas 1, 2 and 3, as we pretty much expected. Paul Newman, the surprise in all of this though has been really the lack of progress of Mel Cook. I really did think he had sighted through this field, but he hasn't, and he's well out of the order. So the leaders are going to be coming up behind this back marking group in a moment. But as we saw, they'll dive to the outside, and really they should be no problem for them. interesting to see what Mark Paffy does with Mark Barber. Will he take the inside? Will he take the outside? Or will he outfox him in the back markers? But Daniel Paffy moves wide for the two leaders, and hopefully Pete Fellows and Tony Evans will do likewise. Indeed he does. Tony Evans sees the blue flag, so he'll move over for the leaders. Paul Dennis is a retirement right down in front of race control, where he joins quite a few others. Norman Hicks, he's the next to retire. Hard luck on Norman, he had a good grid position, but it hasn't gone right in this one. So it's 7.55, still leading the way. 160 Mark Paffy. Malk Songhurst safe in third. Gary Chapman safe in fourth. And then comes the rest of the pack like a high-speed train. Mark Paffy all over Mark Barber. Concluding another lap, 7.55, 160. Then comes 88. He certainly hasn't disgraced himself. And then comes 806 Gary Chapman. 447 Stuart Smythe. He's still hanging on in there with the Starlet. Then comes 565 Brian Smith and 622 Paul Newman. There's inches in it as they head down that back straight. It really is a two-horse race here. Who's to say they might not take each other off? Strange things have happened in stock rod racing. Very close, very competitive. As Martin Hillier is retired down on the pit bend, that's a shame. He's worked so hard to get his car out for this evening, and it looks like he's got smoke and steam coming out the bonnet. Let's hope it's not another engine blow. And Martin Hillier really has had a testing time over this past fortnight. For these two leaders, well, they come with 5 laps to go, and Paffy takes the lead with 5 laps to go. He inches inside of Mark Barber, and he takes the lead. So it's Mark Paffy now leading the way, as Mark Barber got a problem because he's slowed drastically on the back straight. It could well be he has slowed really drastically, and 88 Malk Songhurst catches him up. So with 4 laps to go, it's Mark Paffy. Surely he's going to win this one, and sure enough, 7.55, Mark Barber is a retirement. That really is a shame after such a fine drive from the East Anglian racer. So now it's down to the local driver, 160 Mark Paffy from Havant, who leads the way in the 60 Transport Nova. 88 Malk Songhurst is second, and 806 Gary Chapman is third. Then comes Stuart Smythe, still doing well to hang on in there in the Starlet. 565 Brian Smith, 622 Paul Newman, and then comes 524 Mel Cook, and car number 928 Dave Leach. So with 3 laps to go for Mark Paffy, he's surely going to be wearing the cross of St George for the next 12 months. The last lap for 160 Mark Paffy, here he goes then. 88 Malk Songhurst and 806 Gary Chapman. Barring a meteorite, that is the way they're going to finish in this one. And here he is, the checker flaggers at the ready. It's going to be a major championship at long last for Mark Paffy in 160. 88 comes through for second, that's Malk Songhurst, and through for third is 806 Gary Chapman. 447 Stuart Smythe, a very, very fine fourth. Fifth was Brian Smith, then comes Paul Newman, Mel Cook, Dave Leach, Graham Morton, Kim Carter, and the rest as they come through to complete trophy presentation time then, with Leslie Hodge, our office manager, doing the presenting in this one, and coming through for third, 806 Gary Chapman. Coming through for second, we bring you 88 Malcolm Songhurst. A good drive there from Malcolm, been racing stock rods a long, long time. But coming through for the win, we thought he would be a big danger, and sure enough he's done it. There's been 2 races here at Ringwood tonight, and he's won them both. It's car number 160, Mark Paffy, the new English champion in the stock rods. And going to be a very fine champion as well. So here they come then on their victory lap. 806 Gary Chapman, 88 Malk Songhurst, and 160 Mark Paffy, the new champion. On his way round, give them all a round of applause, and all round the stadium, flash your lights and hoot your horn. Appreciate him. He's won the English Championship of 1996. Come on that long bar, Ben. Flash the lights, hoot your horn. It's Mark Paffy, the new English champion in the stop rods. Their lap of honour. It's official result time for the 1996 Stop Rod English Championship. Coming home in first with 160 Mark Paffy, second 88 Malk Songhurst, and third 806 Gary Chapman. You've just seen those three. Fourth home, the first starlet, and a very fine drive from Stuart Smythe in 447. Fifth was 565 565 Brian Smith, sorry about that, and in sixth was 622 Paul Newman. Seventh was 524 Mel Cook, and in eighth place 213 Graham Morton. Those numbers again very slowly: 160, 88, 806, 447, 565, 622, 524 and 213.